Well, they had the big game. The POTUS won. Obama Biden refused to do the pre-game interview because it was part of a bigger media strategy, according to CNN, that President Biden felt like, Americans are sick of politics, so he just wanted them to watch the game. But he did insert a commercial or a public service announcement, which really only reminded everyone of why he's cratering in the polls. And on top of that, RFK Jr. made a $7 million ad buy that was absolutely brilliant. Oh, yeah. We got some stuff to talk about today.
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth. I'm surviving on the top of the line!
Hi, I'm Pastor Marty. This is the Afternoon Drive. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Once you are, smack the bell, click the word all. That'll give you notification of my rants, my ravings, and my undeniably flawless reasonings. Please like and share this video. That's how we get the word out that we're here. If you would just paste the link to your social media content, I would certainly appreciate that. Thank you for being here on the Afternoon Drive. There are two things that are cratering the Obama-Biden polls. It's the reason that he has absolutely become the worst, having the lowest approval rating of any incumbent president running for re-election. The border, the economy. People are facing unbelievable inflation, and where they are feeling it the most is at the gas pump and at the grocery store. So what does old Joe do last night? Well, he goes ahead and he reminds everyone that this wonderful economy that we were supposed to call the Biden Build Back Better program, Bidenomics, is the reason they're feeling it at the grocery store.
Super Bowl Sunday. If you're anything like me, you like to be surrounded by a snack or two while watching the big game. You know, when buying snacks for the game, you might have noticed one thing. Sports drinks bottles are smaller. A bag of chips has fewer chips, but they're still charging you just as much. I've had enough of what they call shrinkflation. It's a ripoff. The American public is tired of being played for suckers. I'm calling on companies to put a stop to this.
No, Joe. The problem is not the simple price point. The problem is the fact that it actually costs these manufacturers more to make the product. And the way that your regulatory agencies keep stepping in, I'm telling them, now you can't use that ingredient. This one makes fat kids fatter, so you can't put that in there anymore. Because they have to deal with all of this, if they even remotely want to be able to stay competitive and still deliver the consumer a product at about the price where it was, it's getting smaller. I think I told you about that the McDonald's of Russia, because remember, McDonald's left after Russia invaded Ukraine. So a Russian company bought out all the McDonald's over there and is basically, they've got their own Russian version of McDonald's now where the menu is exactly the same. And I was watching a food review of this just recently online, and the Big Mac and the Russian McDonald's, I want to get on a plane and go to Russia just to have a Big Mac, because it's actually what a Big Mac's supposed to look like. It looks like 2 quarter-pound patties with the special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. I mean, it looks great. I had a Big Mac recently here in America. The patty itself is about the size of a $50. It was pitiful. It was a pitiful-looking burger. But I understand that we live in a country where Bernie Sanders and the rest of the wingnuts in the extreme fringe of the lunacy left Democratic Party have this idea that young people who can barely show up for work are deserving of at least $15 an hour. $15 an hour. Yet you go into any McDonald's now, any one of these fast food places, any retail store, they're on their cell phone. When they ring you out, they're asking if you want to leave them a tip. No, I don't want to leave you a tip. I don't even know if you got the right thing in the bag or not yet. And all Joe Biden reminded Americans of last night in skipping the presidential interview, but doing that, was all of this has happened on his watch. That again, when Orange Man was there, the economy worked. People were making more money. And the black community was never as profitable and influential and had economic growth and upward mobility like it did under Donald J. Trump. But there was something else that happened during the Super Bowl that has put the Democrats into full panic mode tailspin.
Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
Do you want a man for president who's seasoned through and through? A man who's old enough to know
and young enough to do?
Well, it's up to you, it's up to you.
It's strictly up to you.
American Values 2024 is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. When I saw this last night, I was in the kitchen. I was looking into our living room, and I saw this. I heard the ad. I had my back to the TV, and as soon as I heard the music begin, I knew it was the JFK ad. And I spun around, and I said, brilliant, absolutely brilliant, that RFK Jr.'s team put this together, and it's a throwback to his Uncle John.
Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
Do you want a man for president who's seasoned through and through, but not so doggone seasoned that he won't try something new? A man who's old enough to know
And young enough to do?
Well, it's up to you, it's up to you.
it's strictly up to you.
Here's what this does. After this damning report comes out that Joe is a feeble-minded, befuddled old man with just a complete cognitive decline, RFK puts out an ad specifically that stirs up the nostalgia of people in their 50s and older. Mainline Democrats, taking them back to, oh yeah, Camelot, JFK, who was actually pretty conservative. JFK, early 1960s, back when things in America worked. Life made sense. There weren't 14 genders. There wasn't wokeism. There was common sense and commonality and American pride. This ad by RFK Jr.'s team, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Because what this does now, as Biden continues to hemorrhage support, record numbers of Latinos and Black Americans are on the Trump train. And there were mainline Democrats who absolutely do not want to vote for Joe Biden, but they've got that, especially if they're older, they got that mindset, well, I can't vote for a Republican. Can't do it, can't do it, can't do it, can't do it. Here comes RFK saying, I'm the saner choice. And I'll take you back to a time when America worked. And that great line in there, which is a line from the original song, he's old enough to know, but young enough to do. Now, RFK Jr. certainly, he's not 40, but he's reminding the Democratic voters he's not 90 either, like Joe Biden. I know he's 80, but he walks around like the Crypt Keeper like he is 90. I mean, Methuselah, who lived to be 669 years old, wasn't as broke down as Joe Mama Biden is. And this is just sad. But this ad is brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. And it takes the classic Democrats back to a place of nostalgia that they still identify with when they were young and idealistic. And RFK said, we're going to go to the moon. The Democratic Party of today would not go to the moon because the Democratic Party of today doesn't want to do anything that might be unfriendly to the environment. After all, we've got these flatulating cows. They've got to go. They're killing us. And we can't have all of this jet fuel and rocket fuel going into the atmosphere. What we're going to do is bring back steam locomotives and give you just train travel again. See, that's where the Democratic Party is today. You know, electric cars, which we used to call golf carts, and just this woke nonsense. And RFK Jr. is appealing to the classic Democrats, and he is saying, hey, you do have an option here besides old Joe. Bump, ba-dum, bump. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.